I wanted to do a little bit more of a dive into DealStream. A lot of our clients are using this to be able to find good buy, fix, and sell real estate and buy, fix, and rent real estate. So we call it DealStream. It's a simple way for you on a daily basis to be sent to your email a login to access DealStream and see properties that would fit good for flipping or for buying, fixing, and renting, like burst strategy. So one of the biggest thing is when you log into this particular program, you do have to have already met with myself and Christy, and we have a non-exclusive buyer's representation agreement signed. And so if you have not had a live in-person meeting or a Zoom meeting with us, we would need to have that first and a buyer's representation agreement signed. And then at that point, we can give you access. And I have here a button where you're able to go and register to meet with us if you have not at this point. But if you already have, and we've already got the buyer's representation agreement signed, we're golden. You can grab access to DealStream. And what's wonderful with this is it's scouring every single day, every property that's coming up, and it's letting you know what are good deals and what does the spread look like. And a lot of the data that we're gathering is coming from a title company, and it's spitting out for us a AVM, an automated valuation of a property. So it'll say, hey, this property is listed at $150,000, but the property is really worth $300,000 based on automated comps. And so the biggest thing is that we want you to be looking at the properties on here. We will always verify all that data before we go totally under contract on a property. But this is a great way for you to search, and you can select the towns that you want. It makes it very, very easy for you as an investor to be able to get properties, search them, and really submit an offer very, very quickly. And I'll show you that in just a moment. But I want to just explain a little bit more in detail. A lot of clients have had just a few questions here. And now as you get a little bit further, here's the main page. And these are new properties that came out today. And you'll see it's going to give you a lot of detail on each property. And we'll dive into one of them here. And, just let's pick something. Okay, here's a property that's located in Lake Zurich. It has a list price of it was recently price changed. It has a list price of $322,000. The ARV is $506,000, and it has a spread of $184,000. Okay, I probably want to dig in and look a little bit deeper on this property. So what I'm going to do is click on the property itself. Now what's nice is it's going to be a lot of photos of the property, interior, exterior, of the house. We're going to have on here some of the financials. What is it listed at? Now remember, this is the list price. We can make a lower offer on the property. So anything that's on DealStream, we can make a lower offer. But then in some cases, if it's a really good deal and we need to stay competitive, I would sometimes say we may need to bid higher. And so, but in this case here, using this property, hey, they just did a price reduction. It's $322,000. Here's the taxes. Here's the ARV. And then there's a renovation estimate. Now, how do you do the renovation estimate on these properties? You got to look at the photos and go, all right, is this property trashed? What is it? I would kind of looking at the photos very quickly. And again, I'm just doing this on the fly. I would say this is probably going to be like, since it's going to be a $500,000 house, I'm going to hit mid to high, which means my renovation estimate is going to be around $105,000 on this property. And that's pulling from the square footage up here. This is a 2,600 square foot house, and at $40 a square to renovate the property, that's going to tag us in at around $100,000 in renovation. Again, this is rough estimates. This is not something that I would say. A renovation contractor has not put this number together, obviously, since it's a slider bar. But it's a great way for you to just look very quickly and see, does this start to fit the bill? then, what's kind of nice is you've got the satellite view here, and I can zoom in and take a quick little peek and see it. What does it back up to, and all that good stuff. And this particular property is backing up to a pond, which is cool. And then we have a little calculator down here if you wanted to just run some numbers of what would it look like if you were to flip the property. And then most important, let's say this is one that you're interested in. It doesn't mean you're married to this property. My thing is always submit a bid. Okay, the biggest thing is you want to get bids in on properties, so don't be shy. It's not like you're married to the property at this point. Earnest money hasn't been submitted. You're submitting an offer to see if the seller is willing to play ball. So here, maybe in this case, I might submit an offer for $280,000 based on it's listed at $322,000. It's worth $506. If I go through my flip calc and I put in $105,000 in renovation, it's probably going to leave me with a pretty decent profit on the property if I was to submit an offer at $280,000. Now, to submit a bid, it's very simple. All you do is you click this little button up here, and when you click submit bid, a contract comes up. You click start filling. You put in your buyer name, your LLC, or your personal name, the property address of the property itself, what type of property it is, how much you're offering, your earnest money amount. You'll just click this button here. The closing date, when do you want to close on the property? You'll just sign right here and then put today's date, the date of the offer. You're going to sign here, and then you're going to type your name, your address continued, and then you're going to upload proof of funds. We're going to need a proof of funds to submit an offer. So a proof of funds could be a pre-approval letter, it could be a bank statement, anything of that sort. You'll click submit, and then what'll happen is that will end up going over to Christy, and then Christy will get the offer submitted on your behalf. Now, let's say the seller has decided, you know what, the $280,000 is good. Now it's a mad rush. We got to get the renovation contractor out there to look at the property. At that point, now we're going to be probably executing contracts once we've got the blessing from the renovation contractor. We'll get photos and a 360 tour and the whole kit and caboodle on the property, but everything kind of happens very fast if the seller says, hey, yeah, you know what, we're willing to accept your offer. So this is a great way for you as an investor to be able to, search properties on a daily basis. I would say, in the winter months, like right now we're coming out of the holidays, you're going to notice a lower volume of properties that are being posted. And so it could be, right now, maybe you're seeing 25 properties. In probably April, you'll probably see like 80 properties being posted on a daily basis. So it's going to vary seasonally. But I think, next month you'll see a little bit more, and then February a little bit more. So there's a lot of properties that are on here, and it's really the numbers have already been worked out. But I will always verify before we move forward and let's give earnest money. I want to run real hard comps, not just use an AVM, an automated system of this property is worth 506. It's probably pretty darn close. This is something that we did build. I've been working on this since 2018. And it's a great way for all of us. I mean, I use it every single day. And so I encourage investors, you may be looking in a particular area that I'm not looking in right now for property. You might say, I want to buy a property that's located in Grays Lake. Well, that's great. I may not be looking in Grays Lake right now for properties, but you are. And if they're popping up on here, that gives you the ability to go, hey, this looks like something that would be good to bid on as a fix and flip. I need something right in my backyard. You could go right ahead, search those properties, and then if it's something that you're interested in, you click the submit bid. That gives Christy the ability to submit the offer to the seller. Then at that point, if the seller says, hey, good to go, that $280,000 offer price is accepted, now we've got that mad rush, like I said, to get out there, get the renovation team out there, get the photos, 360 tour, the whole kit and caboodle. So, and then me reviewing the data and the comps and everything. And then we would say, hey, let's execute the contract, get the earnest money turned in, and typically close within 30 days. So it's a great way for you to search properties, submit bids on properties. The biggest thing is you do have to be like an existing client of ours, and we are required to have that non-exclusive buyer's representation agreement executed before we get you set up. So again, you can sign up here below. If we have not met with you, if you're an existing client of ours, all you need to do is just register on here, and then we're just going to go ahead and get you access to the program. But we do have to have those couple things, the meeting and that document signed. So have fun playing with it. I mean, if you're really into real estate, you really like looking at properties and deals, this is advanced stuff, and a lot of time and energy has gone into it. And I think you're going to find a ton of value using DealStream on a daily basis. And as always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I love talking about this stuff, so I'm here to help. Thanks.